Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have been waiting for all morning, we certainly have. Kevin McCloud has turned his love of architecture into a top-rating TV show called, yes, I hear you say, Grand Designs.
Its global popularity has won him fans world over, and now he's in Australia to share his story, his passion for design and the secret of his success with a live show, The World According to Kevin McCloud. Kevin, welcome to News Breakfast. I'm actually very glad you're here because my sister Trudy has been texting me from Brisbane saying she can't take the kids to school until Kevin's been on the couch.
Oh, hello, Trudy.
So, she can stop bothering me now. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Yeah, we have been a bit excited about having you on board. Tell us about this live show.
Well, I mean, it's 2 hours of mucking about on stage, you know, with an audience, and which I was a little nervous about, but I'm actually really enjoying. And we've done a few cities already, and we're sort of halfway through, and we're kind of covering most of Australia.
Right.
And you know, it's a great laugh. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving it.
Okay, so you obviously talk about architecture.
Yes, we do. I do quite a lot.
Yeah, and cushions. Where do the cushions come
Well, I
in?
mean, because cushions are the essential interface between architecture and the human bottom. So that's where they sit, and so it's important that, you know, we are comfortable in our buildings and that buildings make us comfortable and feel good. So that's the sort of argument about.
Oh no, I'll run with it. And there's a drinking game involved.
There is, but no. It's a family show, and there is in the UK. There is in the UK. Actually, there are several versions of the Grand Designs drinking game.
Yeah.
That, you know, if I utter the word bespoke or somebody gets pregnant halfway through, which has nothing to do with me, students do 24-hour. You know, because you can now with these, you know, back-to-back episodes.
Right.
So that's good fun for them. But I thought we'd do something. So we do have a quiz. I do have a quiz and a few other kind of audience interactive moments. In fact, the whole show ends with something really quite risky, which is I'm asking the audience to make a pledge. So to leave the theatre having sworn an oath, as it were, almost, and we tried, and it works, you know. But I'm in dread of turning up and an audience turning around to me saying, "No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not going to do that."
And the pledge is, you know, I will not clash my carpet with wallpaper.
No, it's a bit more universal than that, because I start out with the fact that, you know, thanks to Brexit, I'm feeling.
That's a drinking game on this show.
That's a drinking game in itself. I'm wondering whether I should move to Scotland or, you know, I haven't got an Irish passport. That's hopeless. So I keep asking immigration officers I meet if they've got any spare passports in their back pocket in Australia. And no one's offered me one yet. And I'm just wondering whether or not, you know, because I feel like a European, you know, and I've lived in Europe and also a citizen of the planet. So this is all about actually taking the ancient ephebic oath of Athens, 500 BC, which is like, we will leave this city more beautiful, not worse, not as it is, but better and more beautiful than it was handed to us. So it's taking that idea and actually trying to sort of forge from it something planetary, to say, you know, we will leave this world better. Because I kind of think now for the first time, probably since the Industrial Revolution, the next generation that we're handing this globe on to are going to actually have more difficulty than we've had. They're not going to enjoy the same standard of living, the same experiences and qualities. So it's up to us to try and do what we can to ensure we do hand it on in a great state.
I'm a big fan of your show. It's been going for decades. Why do you think there is that ongoing popularity, even more so? It just becomes more and more popular.
No idea. I thought we'd get one series commissioned and then that would be it, you know, watched by one surveyor and his dog, and I don't know. It's storytelling, I suppose, and it's, you know, and we all love our homes and we love the idea of watching other people do it. We like a little bit of net curtain twitching, you know, the idea of peeking into other people's houses and their lives, but in a way which it's also a big adventure, that whole self-built thing that everybody can go on. I think we all imagine that we will one day do it in a way.
But do you watch it you know, clearly there's a lot of planning that goes into it, but there must be some projects that you just think, oh no, this is just going to be a disaster.
Yeah, plenty of those.
And therein lies the fun.
Well, but it's the risk, isn't it? It's kind of, this terrible thing that human beings both overreach because, you know, that's what's got us out of the cave, but also it leads us into trouble. And it's that idea that hope springs eternal. It drags us and pulls us and then eventually pushes us over a cliff if we're not careful.
Why are people so obsessed with their homes, their houses, Kevin, in your view? What is it? Why is it so visceral to so many people?
I think psychologists call it place attachment, place connection, the idea that we want to feel safe. We need to feel safe and secure in order to, grow the few crops outside the front door and, keep the lion away from the cave and look after our own, our loved ones. And we do it with other people. That's the interesting thing about human beings. So you walk out the door in the morning, you say to your neighbour, "Hi, how are you? All right? Yeah, you're all right." If they actually tell you how they are, you're not that interested, They tell you about their back pain.
You rush on.
Yeah. But it's that idea, as a community, we're all the time cementing our belief that this is a safe, good place to live. And I think that's really at the heart of it, the fact that we're incredibly defensive. And when we move house, we all feel incredibly discombobulated, kind of like... It's really stressful moving because it's
I've
like,
done it a few times
yeah.
lately.
Well, it's like leaving the cave, and you feel really vulnerable when you do that, and I think that's why.
Are you a bit like a doctor at a party when someone says, "Oh, could you just look at my elbow?"
But look at my kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
Can you give me some
Can I show you
advice?
photographs of my insulation? Yeah.
Conversation killer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, OK, I'll put those photos away.
I find other things to talk about.
You've been to Australia quite a bit over the years. You're with us a few years ago, travelling around the country again. What in your view is the best designed Australian city? Go there.
Oh no, it's so hard this, and and there's been this traditional rivalry forever between Sydney and Melbourne, and
So say Brisbane.
I could say Brisbane.
Yeah,
Do you know what though? I mean, navigable. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I was in Adelaide and a couple of days ago, and it's really navigable because what it is a big square.
It is,
and it's a grid, and it's surrounded by parks. So in a sense, you can't get lost. Yeah,
it's a beautiful city,
and it's a very beautiful city.
It is.
They all are, in a way. I mean, I really love Perth. I really, really enjoy Perth because it's open, big, and it's kind of there's a sense of space about that place. But the thing, I love Melbourne, right? I mean, I adore the street cafes and the big Italian, culture here and all of that. Love it. But I can't find my way around it. My problem with Melbourne is I don't understand the geography of it. I'm sorry, it's just a problem I have with it. But I have to use my iPhone all the time to, navigate me through the...
No, we can take constructive criticism, us Melburnians. I want to ask you about, you described Canberra as the great 20th century city of Australia. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, because it was, it is the city of government, and it was sort of designed and laid out, and so many of the modernist greats of the mid-20th century designed and worked there. I mean, as they did across Australia, but because there is layering, of course, and there's older stuff too, but it's a big statement, And it sort of spread out. It's like a campus, the entire city. So I'm going there funnily enough, I'm doing 2 shows and I'm giving a lecture there. Tim Ross, last year. Tim gave the lecture, which is called the Griffin Lecture for the Australian Institute of Architects. And it's broadcast live. So, and then there's questions afterwards as well from journalists live. And that's the thing that worries me. As I rang him up, and also annoyingly, he talked last year exactly about the same subject that I wanted to talk about. So, yeah, he got there first. So I'm still not. I think I know what I'm talking about now, but I've had to talk to Tim a lot about
not treading on each other's toes.
Well, it's sort of just advice, really. Yeah.
Just speak about how great Canberra is. They love hearing that.
That's a good start, isn't it?
Where are you performing next?
Next, we're at Brisbane this week, which is Thursday, and then because I got a couple of days off to see family in Melbourne,
Great.
And then Sydney Friday, and then Canberra, 2 shows on Sunday, and then we go to Hobart.
Cool. And does our set get your approval?
Love it. I love your studio.
Because it's new.
No, it's very lovely. It's very lovely.
You like what we've done with the place?
I like what you've done, which is what your set designer has done with the place, yeah. But the most important thing about your studio is I don't bang my head on the lights. Went to the BBC recently. They're in Manchester now, and their studios are in a former call centre, so the ceilings are about this high. The lights, you have to sort of dodge.
Oh, right. Oh, we've got plenty of headroom here. We're laughing.
It's proper.
As long as they don't put you on hold for a while, Kevin. We don't do that. We'll have you.
And it came in on budget.
Yes.
So I'm told.
Did it? Well, yeah.
So, yes. Anyway, it's wonderful to have you.
They didn't skimp on the taps there. No.
No, it's all good. Kevin, thank you so much for coming in.
Great, lovely to see you.
Enjoy the rest of your time in Australia.
Thank you. Bless you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.